What's up everyone, it's Josh. It's nice to be back. Happy New Year to everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the 10 must-have gear items in your camera backpack. I mean, this is all subject to personal preference, but yeah, feel free to leave a comment below if you feel differently about any of these things. If you think that there's something in my bag that shouldn't be in there, that you keep something else in instead, let me know. I'm all ears. The criteria for these items is they've got to be inexpensive, so I don't think anything on this list is going to be over 50-60 pounds, something like that, here in the UK anyway. The next criteria is that they have to be lightweight, so I don't want heavy camera gear weighing me down. I mean, I went years using heavy camera gear. Now I've really lightened down my bag. I've got a smaller bag as well, so I really don't want it to be clogged up with heavy items. So all of these things, I basically don't even know they're there most of the time because they just sit in my bag and they're there when I need them. And then when I don't need them, they're fine to just stay in there. So I don't have to keep moving things in and out of the bag. So all of these items I think are really useful, and some of them are even multi-use, as you'll see. You know, it might be that the item is one thing, it has a use, and then the bag it's in, for example, might have another use. So yeah, you'll see once we get into it how useful these things are and why I keep them in my bag. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Whoop! So we have got quite a bit to get through on this list today, so I'm going to try and whiz through it as quickly as possible. Hopefully the video doesn't go on too long, but bear with me all the way to the end because there's actually going to be a bonus item all the way at the end. So there's actually 11 for the price of 10 in this video. So yeah, stick with the video all the way to the end and you'll see what that is. So the first item is this thing here. It's in a cozy little bag, keeps it nice and protected, doesn't weigh much. I mean, a few grams, I mean, really not much at all. And if anyone can guess what it is, top prizes, this is something that's super useful for my photography. Anything intimate, any little scenes like that, this comes in really handy. So it's actually a set of 2 extension tubes. So these ones are made by Newer, N-E-E-W-E-R, and these are the NW-S-AF3A, and there's a 16mm and a 10mm. So yeah, I'm not really sure what that means. I think one of them, basically you can put one on, gets you a little bit closer to your subject, and then you can put another one on and it gets you even closer. And these, believe it or not, they're only about 30-40 pounds, something like that. They're so lightweight, like I said, they stay in my bag all the time, and they've allowed me to get rid of my macro lens. So I had the Sony 90mm 2.8 macro, amazing lens, really nice and sharp, but I didn't really want to take it round all the time. So there'd be times when I was just out for a hike or just out for a bit of scouting, something like that, and I'd come across a nice intimate scene and I wouldn't have that lens with me. So these basically mean that you can shoot semi-macro all the time. So I put these on my Tamron 18-300mm lens, and basically it gets me quite a bit closer. And like I say, it's not going to give you true macro, it's not going to be able to get you lovely intimate scenes of like slime mold and, you know, microscopic stuff, but little things like fungi, details on a leaf, details on a rock and lichen, things like that. You know, I love shooting intimate scenes, so yeah, this is something that comes highly recommended. So yeah, macro extension tubes, you've got to have them in your bag. The next item is something that actually sits just outside my bag, and this is a 3-legged thing. Actually, I should probably look it up. Right, so I just googled it, and it's actually called 3-legged thing tools with a Z. So yeah, this is something that sits on the outside of my backpack. $6.99, so it's not very expensive. Clip it to the outside of my backpack. Actually, it goes on this side for me, and it just sits there. And then when I need to tighten something, it's got a little Allen key. It's got a flathead screwdriver bit, so things like taking off the camera mount or an L bracket, something like that. Tightening up my tripod, I use this. That Allen key comes in really handy. There's the carabiner that you can use that for clipping to something, or I mean, I have used it for clipping one thing to another thing before. It actually comes in handy. And then, of course, the handiest thing of all is that bottle opener for a bottle of beer. So yeah, that's the most important thing. But yeah, $6.99, not very expensive, and like I say, that just sits there all the time. Then when I need to tighten something, I've got it there. So the next thing is this bag here. So I keep it in a dry sack so it stays dry all the time. Basically, I just either roll it up like that and then stuff it in my bag, and it sits there. It used to be easier to fit in at all times in my old camera backpack. My old camera bag was 50 litres, and now I've gone down to a smaller one which is 30 litres. So I don't actually keep this in my bag at all times. So the video is a complete lie. Yeah, basically, this is warm weather gear. So if you're out and you're shooting sunset and the temperature gets cooler and cooler and cooler, I just like to keep these in my bag, or even going out first thing in the morning. If it's cooler than you thought it was going to be, you know that you've got some warmer weather gear just to have in there. So yeah, I've got these. First thing is these thin gloves that don't weigh anything. They're from Decathlon. Can't remember what they're called, but I'll put a link down below. I'll put a link to all of this gear, by the way. If I can find it, I'll let you know. Again, Decathlon. This is a wool, I think it's a wool blend hat. So yeah, I put this on. It's quite tight to my head, so I don't really wear it for fashion reasons, but it's definitely going to keep your ears and your head warm. So yeah, it looks a bit like a swimming cap, but I like it. It keeps your head warm and it does the trick when you need it to. So yeah, let's take that off so I don't look like such a buck. And then the other thing is a snood. So again, you know, this just lives in there all the time, throughout the winter season especially. And then you've got that and it can keep your head warm. So put that on, put the hat on, and then, yeah, look at that. Snug as a bug in a rug. And then I can put the gloves on as well, but I don't really need to. So yeah. I can even rob a bank if I wanted to. The next item is some sort of torch. I like a head torch, so I've got this one. This is the Nightcore, I think it's called the NU25. So I love this torch actually. It's really lightweight. Some people actually get rid of this strap and put like a thinner strap on, but I don't really see the need. I'm not like ultra light backpacking or anything like that, so it's not strictly necessary. But yeah, basically it's got 3 brightness settings on the main light, so you can see it gets really quite bright there. So yeah, 3 brightness settings on that, and then it's got a red light as well. This was really important for me, so doing anything like astrophotography or nighttime stuff, that red light, again, has that got 3? No, oh yeah, it has got 3. It's got one sort of dimmer light, and then if you click it twice, it's got the kind of full beam red light. And then if you click it, 3 times, it does flashing. So if you're cycling or walking along a road or something like that, you could potentially use that. So yeah, for astrophotography, it means that you can use the red light and you preserve your night blindness basically, or your night sight. So it just means that if you're looking between the camera screen and the stars and everything, you can have this on and you can see what you're doing. It's not going to be the brightest light in the world, but it just means that you're not looking at things brighter than they should be basically. So yeah, I keep that in there. And then I also keep this in as a backup because I have come to use this and it's been out of battery. So yeah, that's not ideal. It is USB chargeable. It's not USB-C, it's micro USB, but yeah, it's USB chargeable, so you never have to worry about buying batteries or anything like that. But I have come to use it and the battery's been dead before. So this other thing comes in really handy. And this is the, actually I don't know the name, but it's again, it's from Decathlon. By the way, I love Decathlon. I love all their bits and pieces in there. If I go into Decathlon, I'm guaranteed to buy something like this, and this is a great little thing. It's basically a wind-up torch. So you wind it up, and that's how it stays powered. So it's actually pretty bright. You know, it's not as bright as the full beam on that torch, but it's as bright as you need to. You know, if you need to read something, or you've got like a 5-10 minute walk to get back to where you parked or something like that, then this is super handy. And in theory, this should never run out of battery, because basically the battery is always going to be able to be charged by, is that kinetic energy? Is that how that works? I don't remember physics in school, to be honest with you. Oh, I thought it had a name, but it's not. It just says decathlon. But yeah, again, I'll pop a link to the name of that in the description below. So this is another item that sits on the outside of my bag again. So this is a Peak Design capture clip. So yeah, for any of you that don't use one, I highly recommend it. I used to have my camera strapped around my neck, and I just found it really weighed me down when I first got into photography. So the fact was, I was always taking a bag out with me because I would need several lenses and things like that. And yeah, once you kind of go to a capture clip, I don't think you really go back, to be honest. So this basically sits on the strap of your camera bag, just something like that. And actually this one on my camera bag, I think it has to sit like that. And then yeah, you get your camera and then it sort of just clips into the clip, and it's not going anywhere. It's kind of guaranteed to stay in there. It will hold like a mega heavy camera. So yeah, for just a mirrorless or a DSLR, it's definitely going to stay in there. And then it means that you can just press this red button. You press the red button and you release it, and then you're ready to shoot. And then basically it comes with a little base plate that you slide into there, clips in, and then when you slide it out, and that goes into the Arca Swiss mount on your tripod head. So yeah, capture clip, highly recommended. Now the next thing is, again, it's several things. So it's this bag here. So this changes throughout the years, but basically it's a load of snacks. And the bag that it's in, or it also comes in handy because it's one of these ones that when you're traveling, when you need to get on a plane and you've got liquids, you know, I don't know if you've ever had it before, but you get to that bit at the airport and you realise that you've got like one liquid or two liquids in your hand luggage, and you need to kind of change that quickly and pop them in a bag. You know that you've got this, or you can go prepared to the airport. You know you've already got one, so you can take all the biscuits and crap out of it, and then you can put your liquids in there, and then when you get to that bit at the airport, you can quickly go through the security checks. So yeah, it's up to you what you keep in here, but basically, I'll stop rustling because it's probably quite distracting. Basically, I don't know if you've ever had it, but sometimes you can be out shooting sunset, or sunrise in fact. The shoot goes on for longer and longer than you thought it was going to, and you're getting hungrier and hungrier in the meantime. So yeah, something like this is super handy to have because you can stay out there shooting, but you can, you know, just have something to tide you over and, you know, get you through that last little bit. Because I've been out there before where I'm just so hungry that my attention span's going, you know, I just don't have the energy, and just having something like this, a little snack, can just keep you going for that little bit longer and help you get those shots. So yeah, the type of things I've got in here, these little trail mix crackers, they're quite nice, and they've got like nuts and seeds and fruit on them, so they're full of energy. Little shortbread biscuit and some breadsticks. These things were all free from restaurants or hotel rooms, I think. And then last little thing, you've got to have your ketchup, because if you get like a bacon roll or something and it's got no sauce in it and it's super dry, you'll be thanking yourself for that. So yeah, a little bag of snacks, super handy. Okay, I think we're on to number 7 on the list. So this is a multi-tool. This is the Gerber suspension. So I actually have a few little knives and that kind of thing in my bag, but this is the main sort of handy one that I would recommend everyone has, for photography anyway. I like a pen knife. I like just a normal sort of folding knife, and I have those in several of my bags, but yeah, this is one that just comes in really handy for photography. So something like your tripod becoming loose, or your camera base plate becoming loose, something like that, I just feel like I need these pliers, and these are actually really decent. They're probably a bit overkill, to be honest, because they're quite heavy. They're probably the heaviest single item that I've got on this list. Sorry, I'm looking down there because I've got them all lined up, but yeah, they're probably the heaviest single item that I've got on the list. But yeah, it's just a really handy thing. And like I say, the pliers are the main thing that I need to, like, you know, just what is it? It's the tightening up something on my tripod. Something goes wrong fairly frequently on my tripod, and this comes in handy. Oh, it's when I need to change over the heads of the tripod. That's what it is. I change over from the small sort of lightweight head to the bigger one, and sometimes there's a bit that always stays in, and then I always need these. So yeah. The other things that I got on there, the usual kind of penknife stuff. So there's a knife, a flathead screwdriver, and whatever that thing is there. Phillips screwdriver, a saw, it's pretty handy in case you need to go 127 hours. What else have we got? There's a sort of a smaller screwdriver. That's a bottle opener for sure. Bottle opener, and there's like a little kind of, just a bottle opener. Two kind of styles of one though. You can tell I don't use a lot of these things. There's a serrated blade there. That's quite handy. What else have we got? Oh, and a pair of scissors. They're actually really handy for like cutting a bit of tape or cutting a bit of paper, I don't know, but or thread, something like that. So yeah, multi-tool, really, and oh, scratch the bloody lens. Yeah, multi-tool, you gotta have one of them. So the next one is a few things in one again. Oh, dropped one of them. So it's like cleaning stuff. So yeah, you've got to keep your lens and camera clean and your sensor. The sensor, I'd recommend this stuff. This is VSGO sensor cleaner. So it comes in a little set. This is the fluid, and then these are the cleaning swabs. So these are for APS-C size sensor, then you can get full frame ones. I'm sure you can get medium format size and micro four thirds, all the different sensor sizes. But yeah, get the one that's right for your camera sensor size. And basically you squeeze a couple of drops of this onto the little applicator. Take it out of the packet first, of course. And then you sort of just slide it across the camera sensor in one direction, and then go to the opposite side of the applicator and slide it back the other way. It's hard to describe, but yeah, I'll put some B-roll over this showing you exactly how to do it. So yeah, get the ones that are right for your sensor. Next things, just cloths. Just cloths are really good for cleaning filters, keeping the rain off your camera, like just fine little drizzle, something like that is going to go over the camera and lens and just make sure that rain and like the spray from a waterfall or salt water from the sea are just going to be protected, or your camera's going to be protected from those kind of things. Was there another one? No. Oh yeah, there was another one. Where's it gone? It rolled under the shelving here, so yeah, it's one of the best ones as well. It's a blower. When you open up your camera body and have a look at the sensor, any kind of loose bits in there, you can just blow off with the little blower. This is one thing that I've had since I started photography, and I've never had to upgrade it or anything like that. I think it's made by Fotar, but yeah, it's something that I've had for about 6-7 years now, and yeah, it's just something that I always use. You need it all the time, actually. Surprising how dusty your sensor and lenses can get. So yeah, something that you've got to have in there. Whoop, whoop. Another multi-use item. So this is in a bag at the moment, but folds out. And the bag is actually handy before I get onto the actual item itself. The bag is a big white bag, and that can come in really handy as a bit of a bounce light. So if you're shooting something like a little macro scene or a close-up image, and you just feel like the shadows are a bit too harsh and you don't want to pull them up in post or anything like that, then sometimes a little bit of bounce light can help to just lift up those shadows and make them a bit lighter. So having something big and light coloured like that is super handy. The other thing you can do with it, pop it on the ground again so it doesn't make too much noise. So yeah, that sits on the ground, and then you can put your camera bag on top of it. If it's like really muddy or wet or anything like that, or even sandy, you can put your bag on top of that, and you know that your bag is going to be nice and clean afterwards, relatively clean. So the actual item that we're talking about that goes in the bag is this. This is my sit pad. Again, I've had this for quite a few years. I actually made this out of some old foam that I had. I know you can buy these kind of things, but I basically had the foam, cut it to the size I wanted. Actually, I cut 2 bits. I probably thought my bum was a bit smaller than it actually is. But yeah, cut one bit, realized it wasn't big enough, then cut another bit the same size, and then they're basically just stuck together with a bit of gaffer tape there. Yeah, so I fold this out, and then, you know, if you get to a viewpoint or something like that, you can have a sit down and have your lunch, or you can, or even I've had like sitting in airports for hours and hours, your flight's delayed, there's no seats anywhere, everyone's just sitting on the floor, you know, and then you come along with your actual sit pad, a nice foam seat to sit on, you'll be the envy of everyone. So yeah, that's super handy. Again, doesn't weigh anything, this goes in the back pocket of my camera bag and it just sits there, don't even think about it, and when I need it, I've got it there. So number 10, technically the last item on the list, but yeah, like I said, there is one more bonus one, so stay tuned all the way to the end for that. And this one is bits of tape. So I don't take the whole roll of tape with me all the time. I think that's crazy. It would weigh too much. And yeah, all I do is I get an old card. So there's my old driver's license photo. Look at that. Yeah, grim. We don't want to meet him down a dark alley. Yeah, so just an old card, wrap the tape that you need around it, and then you just have the amount of tape that you actually need. So you never need a lot, you know, it might just be a little repair, or you just need to like stick something around something. I know my tripod feet always come out, so I actually have this tape like taped around the tripod legs at all times to make sure those feet don't come out, because I've lost 3 feet like walking around on trail. And then you just realise 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, sometimes too long later to go back and get it, that you've lost it. So yeah, things like that, tape are really good. So that's like camera tape, that's good quality stuff, but not that sticky, especially like if it's wet or greasy or anything like that. That's like masking tape. Sometimes I've made like a makeshift label or you know, just wrote on the piece of tape with a bit of Sharpie, and yeah, made like a makeshift label with that. And then that stuff is really sticky, but it leaves quite a residue afterwards. That's like grey, heavy duty, proper like duct tape, that stuff. So yeah, I highly recommend keeping those in your bag. Again, barely weigh anything, don't even notice they're there. So the bonus item, I know everyone's been waiting on tenterhooks to find out what it is, and it's actually a bag within a bag. So I have had before where I've been out doing photography, traveling, things like that, and you go to a supermarket and you don't have a bag with you. So I like to just keep this little bag. Again, Decathlon, you can't go wrong. Yeah, this bag is just a drawstring bag that rolls up into itself. You know, you're never gonna win any like fashion parades or anything like that, but yeah, you definitely can fit a few like shopping items. I don't know, even if you wanted to do some like foraging or something like that, and you've got like a bag, then you don't have to put the mushrooms and blackberries and things like that into your camera bag. You've got a separate bag that you know you can kind of keep clean, and you can actually just put this in the washing machine if it gets dirty afterwards, and you don't have to worry about it. So yeah, call that bagception, a bag within a bag. At some point I'll go through a full bag review. I'll go through the bag I use, all of the equipment that I keep in there, why I use it, and yeah, you can see exactly what's in my bag. So yeah, that's coming very soon, so stay tuned to the channel. Well, thank you for making it to the end of the video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you thought those things were useful. Like I said, if there's anything that you disagree with or anything you think I should add to my camera bag, then drop a comment below and I'll definitely read through them and take it on board. So that's probably about it for today. I hope the video hasn't gone on too long. It feels like it's been going on quite a while now, so yeah, I'll try and wrap things up. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment if you've got any constructive criticism, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye!